Hello everyone, welcome back to the session, and in this particular session we are going to continue the discussion of the questions which came from the game changing movement, that is environment ecology, and also from agriculture. This is really game changing. Everyone will be reading Lakshmikant, Modern India Spectrum, everyone will be reading Economic Survey, Budget, Art and Culture, Nitin Singhania, but for the environment, current affairs is very important, and many questions tend to came from current affairs itself. Let's see what are the questions which have been appeared in this, and let's see the key. This is very interesting. Government is promoting the Moringa leaf powder as an immunity booster. During the COVID times, the Moringa powder was not available in Amazon and Flipkart also. Here, government is promoting as an Ayurvedic medicine. So that's why this was in use. If you want, you can check in Hindu newspaper. Otherwise, 10 lakh blank check you will be getting. Moringa, the drumstick tree, is a leguminous evergreen tree. It is not a leguminous tree and it is not an evergreen tree. It falls under the dry deciduous category. So option 1 is false. So wherever you would be seeing option 1, eliminate that directly. A, C, D. The right answer is 3, 4, 5, B option. If you know option 1, then this question is very easy. No need to read the rest options. Read first option. It is not a leguminous evergreen tree. So whenever you would be seeing the drumstick trees, do you find evergreen forest trees? Dense forest trees? No. So drumstick trees which are present, they are not evergreen in nature. And tamarind tree which is present, clear, tamarind tree which is present, it is endemic to South Asia. It is not endemic to South Asia. It is also present in Africa. So 1 and 2 are not that great. India exports tamarind and seeds of moringa. They are true. So 3, 4, 5 becomes the option according to the estimated guess. According to the estimated guess. Clear? So option 3, 4, 5. It is the right one. For the next question, leaf litter decomposes. He is wasting our time simply. He is wasting our time. He is explaining all the story and asking which of the following is described above. So just do remember, leaf litter decomposes faster. Answer is tropical evergreen forestry, tropical rainforestry. Heavy rainfall, leaf litters very fastly, and the nutrient would be taken by the plant from that particular decomposition very fastly. Don't read all the KGF 1, 2, 3 parts and say Rocky Bhai is Rocky, he is since 1869, all this. Directly say, we have captured Narachi, we have killed Garuda, clear? So in the opening line itself, he has given leaf litter decomposes faster. So obviously that becomes the right answer. Answer is tropical rainforest. The direct answer which you have, that is tropical rainforest, okay? Next one, this is also a bit interesting. Because of mosquito bites, as we are having huge amount of viral diseases, he has asked this question. How interesting this question is. Mosquito bites and natural mosquito repellents, space the UPSC, space the Hindu. You type, you will be getting it in the Hindu newspaper. Recently also in the month of May, June, July, during the heavy rainfalls, we were having high viral diseases due to this particular mosquito biting. So mosquito repellents are very important for us during this particular critical time. So which grass is mostly used in it? It is lemongrass. Direct answer. If you know this, it is a direct answer for this question. Okay. Done. Next one, consider the following kinds of organisms and which are primary producers. They have asked a question. Actually, the entire question did not come. Which of the following are primary producers? Copepods are not primary producers. Foraminifera is not a primary producer. It is only cyanobacteria which is a direct primary producer for the phytoplankton, and diatoms are the primary producers in the oceans. 2 and 3 becomes the right option for this question. 2 and 3, extraordinarily right option for this particular question. The entire question did not fit over here. That's why I am repeating the question. Consider the above. Which of the following are primary producers in the oceanic bodies? Clear? They are cyanobacteria and diatoms which are present. Next one, this is also interesting because of this pangolin. Hope everyone know. Clear? What has happened? What change has happened in the world? Clear? Chinese pangolin, Indian pangolin, which is under the critically endangered list also according to the IUCN. So in this, to reduce the chance of being captured by the predators, these sprees, what they would be doing is they would be rolling up themselves so that they wouldn't go in the hands of the predators. So which animals would be doing such kind of activity? One animal is hedgehog, one animal is pangolin, which will roll up itself. So absolutely 1 and 3 which is present, they are the right options for this particular question. 1 and 3, the right option for this particular question. Okay. Next, this is also a bit interesting. See, squarely speaking, if I was in your position as a student, I might have not written this particular question as an option, but I can eliminate. Using this elimination method, we can crack this question very easily. The question is like, with reference to the New York Declaration on Forest, which of the following statements are correct? So this one statement only I know. Only I know one statement. If you know this statement, you can eliminate. So this declaration which happened in 2014, it is not legally binding. So eliminate option 3. B and C are gone. And India was one of the signatories at its inception. So India was not a signatory. Obviously 1, 2, 4 becomes the right option for this. A option which is present, 1, 2, 4, they are the perfect options for this particular question. So the right answer is 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Clear? So the next one, magnetite particles. This was in news due to neurodegenerative problems. So this is bit critical actually. In some of the case studies which were said by the industrial effluents which would be released from that particular aspect, they say that under the radiation aspect, microwave stoves which are present in the homes, they also release that magnetite properties which will be acting as an aerosols. But most efficiently, if you see, the brakes of the motor vehicles and the engines of motor vehicles and power plants, they generally tend to release this magnetite particles. So according to our perception, 1 to 4 becomes the right option, and hence it might also sometimes go in the sense of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reason I am saying here is, if the telephone wires would be burnt, the wires are made up of the elastic rubber. So those elastic rubber has magnetite involvement in it that might enter into the atmosphere acting as a pollutant. So this might also be taken into consideration by our psychopath, as we every time call our UPSC as Unpredictable Service Commission, but we call it as psychopath, and that psycho can do anything. They will create open traps for us, and this is also one kind of trap. But my estimated guess is 1, 2, 4 is the right option for this. Okay. This is direct one. This was in news. No need to read, no need to see. Direct one, which is a filter feeder, it is oyster. Direct option. I think so in the month of March, when there was an article in the Hindu newspaper relating with the coral bleaching and on the basis of aquatic ecosystem, coral ecosystem, these particular marine organisms have come into picture. If you want, you can check. If that is not present, again I'll give the third check from my side, 10 lakh check you can write until then. Okay, so it was in Hindu newspaper. So oyster, it is a direct one. If you know it, you can write it directly. If you don't know, Bhagwan jaane, zindagi aapki, marzi aapki, no one can help you. Clear? Now, in case of which of the following biogeochemical cycles, the weathering of rocks is the main source of release of nutrient to the enter into the cycle. Many people might have kept the option as carbon cycle, but it is a biggest blunder. Carbon enters directly from the soil through the trees. From tree, carbon dioxide, when it would be buried, it would be entered directly into the atmosphere. So the answer is sulfur. Nitrogen and phosphorus are out of box. If anyone has kept this option, please stop your preparation, jump from top floor. You would be the biggest fool on this planet, because nitrogen and phosphorus cycle doesn't make any sense. So carbon and sulfur should be the option. It is sulfur cycle which is processed in the weathering. Due to the weathering of rocks, this sulfur enters into the atmosphere. Okay. Now, which of the following are detritivores? Answer is very direct in this. Jellyfish and seahorses are not detritivores, they are decomposers rather. So earthworms, millipedes and woodlice, these three particular aspects which are present, they are absolutely true. 135 becomes the right option. 135 becomes the right option. Okay. Common carbon metric supported by UNEP has been developed for. This was also in news recently. Common carbon metric. Generally, it has been accessed to study the carbon emissions and to check out the building operations around the world. So the carbon emissions which are being released, to check that common carbon metric has been given. So option A, accessing the carbon footprint of the building operations around the world, that is the right suitable option for this particular question. Rest of the options we can eliminate it directly. Clear? They are nothing of use. 80th one, all these three. Clear? So generally it is a very common logic that most of the marine organisms, they maintain symbiotic relationship, either in the form of mutualism or in the form of amensalism or in the form of one perspective angle. So every organism almost maintains symbiotic relationship. Fungi with algae, in this way, all these organisms which are being given over here, they would be maintaining the symbiotic relationship. 1, 2, 3, all of the above are the right options for this question. 1, 2, 3. Clear? R2 code of practices constitutes a tool available for promoting the adoption of, actually, electronic, there would be e-waste. Hope you might have heard about e-waste. Recently also it was in news. So e-waste is creating high amount of pollutants in the atmosphere, e-waste. So this e-waste aspect, the recycling of e-waste has come in 2013 itself. But revival of such kind of electronic recycling industries again came into picture under this particular practices, that is R2 code of practices, which have constitutes a tool available for promoting the adoption of environmentally responsible practices in electronics recycling industries. So that e-waste doesn't enter into the earth, it doesn't create high amount of pollution. So option A becomes the right. And wetland of international convention, this is biggest blunder. Sustainable practices in agriculture, blunder. Environment impact assessment is blunder. Clear? So by seeing this, we can take the option. Clear? 87, copper smelting. This is a bit interesting. Thothukudi in Tamil Nadu, 2018, the copper plant was shut down. Later on, during the COVID situation in 2020, it was changed as a hospital bed, the copper smelting plant in Tamil Nadu, where it was cleaned and it was used as a COVID isolation center. But later on, it was observed that due to the opening of the shut down copper smelting plant, the pollutant sulfur dioxide increase in that particular region has started. They have observed as a case study. Thothukudi, Tamil Nadu. On that lines, he have given the question. They may release lethal quantities of carbon monoxide into environment. Every time I used to say one statement, if UPSC is agreeing that statement, that is false. See, the option itself is saying they may release lethal quantities. Lethal. क्या होता भाई? Lethal क्या होता है? What is lethal? They may release high quantities of carbon dioxide also, thoda bahut manageable. Lethal quantities कहते, like out, you go out first. One option is eliminated and the only option left out is 2 and 3. If you don't know this also, 2 and 3 becomes the right option. Lethal quantities of carbon dioxide, no, absolutely blunder. 2 and 3 becomes the right option for this, okay? So yes, copper slag cause the leaching of some heavy metals into the environment. This is true. They may release sulfur dioxide as a pollutant, true. And lethal is wrong. 2 and 3 becomes right, okay? Furnace oil, consider the following statements. This was also in news. Furnace oil, it is a byproduct of the oil refineries. Within the oil refineries, if you see, when the crude oil goes, petrol, diesel, along with that furnace oil will also come out. So it is a product of oil refineries. Okay, this is true. Some industries use it to generate power. Yes, true. It causes sulfur emissions into the environment. It doesn't cause sulfur emissions, rather it causes carbon emissions. So this is false. Option 3 is false. So only 1 and 2 becomes the right option for this particular question. Okay. What is blue carbon? Blue eyes, go eyes by Honey Singh. Agar yaad hai gana, clear, the song by Honey Singh. Blue eyes, thoda eyes, zyada eyes, vodka dalo, wo dalo, clear. So if you remember that blue carbon captured by the oceans and coastal ecosystems, directly comes into picture. Agriculture, soil, biomass, petroleum, all these doesn't come into picture. Blue carbon refers to the carbon which is trapped in the oceans and coastal ecosystems. This is the right option, 89th one. Next one, in the nature, which of the following is are most likely to found surviving without soil? Lichens doesn't survive without soil. They require soil, right? But ferns, mosses and mushrooms you can observe here and nearby. So 1, 3, 4 is the right option for this particular question. 1, 3, 4. Lichens require soil for the growth. Okay, 1, 3, 4 is the right option for this.
Welcome to Vishnu IAS Academy. We are excited to announce the launch of our new courses. Contact us for registrations and counseling. Hard work never fails. Keep learning.
Next, with reference to the palm oil, consider the following statements. This is also a bit interesting now. Agriculture question. The palm oil is native to Southeast Asia. Who said? Did I say? No. If UPSC is saying, don't believe them. They are creating an open trap. We know palm oil production happens maximum in Southeast Asia. We know it. But it is not native to Southeast Asia. It is native to Africa, whereby 100 years before, Europeans made this palm oil production to be started in Southeast Asia. That's it. Actually, it was the native of Ethiopia, Sudan, those regions. So option 1 is false. If option 1 is false, what would be the left out option? 2 and 3. 2 and 3 becomes the right option. Palm oil is a raw material for some industries producing lipstick and perfumes. Yes. The palm oil can be used to produce biodiesel. Yes. This is not yes. Here it is Africa, not Southeast Asia. So 2 and 3, they are directly true. Okay. This is interesting, illuminating, unexpected and an open trap by UPSC. Everyone might have kept pearl millet in it. Yes or no? Pearl millet in it. Answer is sugarcane. You might think me as a fool, but sugarcane is the right answer. Why? Because among the following least water efficient crop, if you read this, first thing which comes into our mind is which crop grows with less water. This is what which comes into our mind, right? So obviously, whenever we used to read millets are dryland farming, pearl millet comes into picture. We used to say this statement. Every time we used to read the same. Millets grow at very lesser rainfall, dryland farming, drought prone regions, millet grow. And every people will pick pearl millet as an option. And some idiots will also pick red gram. And some extraordinary fellows will pick sunflower also. No. Answer is sugarcane. Here again read the question. Among the following, which one is the least water efficient crop? What do you mean by high water efficient crop? What do you mean by high water efficient crop? It means with less utilization of water, having high growth is high efficient water crop. Yes or no? Utilization of less water, high productivity. Here least water efficient crop. It means using high water, productivity is less. In this, the high water utilization would be for sugarcane. It consumes high amount of water, high moisture content is present. This is my perception. Again, don't think that Vijay sir has said this is true. This is my perception. And you know, however, UPSC doesn't follow our brains. We have to follow UPSC. Done. And to question UPSC, it will not even release key. Because like again Vijay sir questions, Vishnu sir questions UPSC by filing RTI. They will give the key after the final result and after they catch the bus of Mussoorie and after they land in Mussoorie, all the trainees, then he will release the key. What should we do then? Again we have to file case in Supreme Court. So that's why UPSC sometimes would be negligible in certain aspects because the question framing, अगर यही क्वेश्चन हिंदी में पढ़ लिए होते तो अलग रहता. For those people who read in regional language, that might be different. the understanding perspective, but my perspective sense is answer is sugarcane. Okay. So these are the questions which came from environment and agriculture and geography. Hope you will clear this examination very effectively, and my expected cutoff would be somewhere ranging from 97 to 102 plus or minus 5, and 97 would be the cutoff figure expecting. Question paper is not that easy which you are thinking. Questions are easy, options are not that easy. Questions are easy, options are not that easy. Everyone is thinking question paper is easy. Yes, I do agree, question paper is easy. But options which have been given beneath it, it was not easy. Okay. So 97 to 102, if you are scoring more than 100, start your mains preparation. Thank you for watching this. Have an awesome day. Have a great year ahead, and we will again meet with the mains answer writing practice as well. Thank you for watching this. Have a great day. Jai Hind.